My name is Ashley Kincannon. I am from here, Hot Springs. I teach 8th and 9th grade English at Lake Hamilton Junior High, and I am at SWOW because it's only the best conference ever. So it is. It's actually what ignited my passion for educational technology, and it's where I started. And so from here, that's why I started presenting, is because of SWOW. So it's near and dear to my heart, and it's why I want to continue sharing.
Yeah. So how many, are you doing one session, 5
I'm doing
sessions?
4 sessions.
4 sessions. Wow. All of the same thing or different?
There are 2 different sessions, 2 times.
Great. Great. What's the first session?
The first session I am presenting is Work Smart Not Hard, using Google Apps in the classroom.
Nice.
And so that one is about how I use Google Forms and all the different ways I use Google Forms, and then also Google Voice, which is a free telephone powered by Google that you can use to contact parents, and then just some minor apps and extensions that I use to work smart, not hard in the classroom.
You know, we were just talking about pretty much, I'm a true believer that, you know, if you want to do schools without walls, if you want to take a classroom outside of the classroom, then Google is 65%, maybe even more. That's all you need.
Absolutely.
The kids can have it on their phone, they can have it on any device, and once they start to use the power of it, and the teachers are using the power of it for sharing and creating, and it's a really big deal. Forms just had a huge upgrade. You know, now you can upload pictures and things to it, so that's
which is really cool.
That's really cool. And the quiz part that they added was wonderful. So
yes, I like that feature.
So when is that first? When that? How do I want to say this? That first one you described. When are you doing those?
That session is going to be today at 12:15 in room 205.
Cool.
And then tomorrow it is going to be at 10:15 in room 203.
Okay, cool.
So now what's the other session that you're doing?
The other session I am doing is the top 10 features of Google Classroom. So that's going to be for somebody who really is new to Classroom and they want to know kind of what can they do with Classroom. And there's also some little things in there that are new updates that Classroom's added this year that might be good for people who are already using Classroom or who are pretty new to Classroom. So I'm just going to hit all the high points of what Classroom can do for people, and I'll be showing them my classroom, and also I'll be showing them the student view of Classroom and kind of how those different things work. And
so with all of that then, so what are some ways that, without spoiling too much, but so what are some of the ways that you're using Classroom in your classroom?
Well, basically, Classroom is your one-stop, one-shop for Google Apps with education, and I'm going to share what it was like, what life was like without Classroom. It was crazy hard. So it's that central location where you can find all of your Google Apps, and I love Classroom because it organizes everything for the students and the teacher. So it makes it a whole lot easier for us to navigate these Google Apps, and I love how I can do things on the fly, such as sharing a form out to students. That's where I'm going to post it. Or today I want you to look at a PDF, and so I'm not going to print that PDF out because I want to save paper. Instead, I'm going to post it in Classroom, but I forgot to post it, so I'm going to post it right there with you sitting in the classroom because it's going to take me all of 5 seconds, and then we'll be on our way to doing what we need to do. And then I'm also going to show how you can add a co-teacher and how that function works, such as what's really cool because you can reuse each other's posts. So those are some things I'll be highlighting in my session.
That's cool. And are those some of the things that you're already doing in your classroom?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm using all these features. I'm highlighting your features that I'm currently using. They also added a guardian feature where you can add parents, and that's something I'll also be discussing. And that session today will be at 1:30, again in room 205. And then that will be tomorrow as the last breakout session in room, let me look at my schedule here, 207.
So you said that this is the conference that got you really excited about everything.
Yes, absolutely.
What was the one thing? Was it Susan Gilly and her?
It was a combination. Actually, this is my 4th year teaching. So as a first-year educator, I was that on fire. I was going to do everything all at one time. So I went from not knowing what a Chromebook was to using all of these Google Apps my first year of teaching because I was just on fire for what they were and what they could do and how engaged my students were with them. So I came to SWOW in November, my first year, so that would have been November 2013, I think. And then I went back, and of course, being the first-year teacher I was with all that energy, I implemented everything at one time. I started using all these different Google Forms, and I started using, so then I attended, and of course Michael Graham was a fabulous presenter, and Susan Gilly and Aretha Ferguson and Jill Hurd and all these presenters. I just was going to their sessions, and so then I went back and just did everything all at one time and got to know them really well. And then I was told at the end of my first year of teaching, it was like, well, hey, you should share these things, because as a novice teacher, I was just under the assumption that everybody knew how to use these apps in the classroom. And so then once I started sharing, I realized that I really love sharing my knowledge with others, because I know that if I don't share, then somebody may never get to use that feature I'm using in my classroom. So now I just present it. This will probably be this is my 12th conference to present at.
Wow, man, you've been busy for being a fourth-year teacher.
Yes, this is so SWOW and TCAL and HISTE and Dawson. Those are the kinds of the places I've been presenting.
That's perfect. That's how you really get your message out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot of fun.
It is. I love engaging my audience
We can
and
tell
working
that
with them.
you know, that's the way. It's so fun when you're passionate about something. It's really easy to talk about 7 hours about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what wins over the folks in your sessions. They see how passionate you are about it, and they go, okay, maybe I need to try this.
Absolutely, because if you don't, then you'll never know what it can do for you.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys use Chromebooks?
Oh yes, I have my own class set of Chromebooks, which is a huge blessing because I can use those at my convenience, and the kids love them. Anytime we can do anything with a Chromebook, it seems like they're more engaged than they were just doing it with paper and pencil.
Do you guys use something like GoGuardian or anything on it?
Yes, we do use GoGuardian, and I can say that I don't know. It's sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I know that they're still working on those glitches, but it is convenient. I know when we first started using Chromebooks, we had nothing to manage our software with. So I was super excited when they released GoGuardian because of how I could monitor my Chromebooks, and I could help push out things to students. I could capture timelines, and it also made monitoring their progress and what they were doing on their Chromebooks and engaging disciplinary situations super easy, because I had some students who were looking at inappropriate content, and I was able to capture a screenshot of their timeline and take it to my administrator, and we were able to take care of that browsing activity. So when it's working and it's not, you can see their screens, it's a fabulous product. And I know because it's new, it's going to continually to improve. And I love that this year they've linked it to our classroom. So instead of having students set up GoGuardian and Google Classroom, I can just import my students from Classroom into GoGuardian, which is fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the hard part with technology, is especially with teachers who've been teaching that are veteran teachers. Because for them, it's like, wait, it keeps changing so much. And, you know, the young teachers are used to it. We're used to change. You know, we update an app every 3 months. It's cool. We have no problem. It's really hard to get them comfortable doing it. I think Google's done a good job of keeping it pretty solid. But you're right. And as it gets better, it'll get better. GoGuardian and Google and everybody will make it better. Apple, Chrome, you name it, it's all going to get better.
And the thing about it is, if you ever want to know how to do something, you get in there and you do it.
Yeah.
And you can only screw it up so many times. Eventually, you're going to figure it out.
That's true.
And as I like to tell my folks,
Truly, you can't screw it up so bad that it can't be fixed in some way.
Obviously, yeah, absolutely.
Now, sometimes that fix means you get a whole new device because you completely obliterated the other, but we can still fix it.
There's always a way out.
That's right. There's always a way out. Always a way out.
Well, Ashley, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all for having me.